episode 378 of Quest for You. Welcome, my friends. One of my New Year's resolutions is to be on time. Not just this year, but in general. I want to be a person who arrives on time. This is currently not the case. I am almost consistently 1, 5, sometimes 10 minutes late to every meeting, appointment, even to dates or commitments I have set for myself. I show up late, and I don't like it. I used to think it was okay, that a quick excuse would get me out of it and that next time I would be okay. But even for those appointments where I allow myself enough time, way ahead of time, I still show up late. And I'm done. When people already count on me being late, that's when I know I need to make a change. Because I don't want to be considered a person that is always late. I don't want to have the identity of a late person. That's why being on time is on the list this year. But I will be very honest with you. I'm not sure how successful I will be. I will not track every time I'm on time and compare it to the times I'm not. There will be no list or app that I will use. And I know I will fail. Probably many, many times. But it will be on my mind this year more than ever before. Every time I squeeze in just another email before running off to a meeting that's on another floor in my office building. Every time I stay in bed just another 10 minutes, resting, on the hope that traffic may just not be as bad that day. Every time I excuse my lateness with the fact that the person isn't waiting anyway, that they are a friend and friends don't mind waiting. I know my goal will come to mind. At least that's my hope, because I am determined that it needs to change. You see, I've been torn with this time thing. On one hand, I'm trying to maximize my time by not sitting around waiting for others. On the other hand, when I'm late, others wait for me when they could be doing something better with their time. So I try to be exactly on time, to not lose a minute waiting and to also not get there a minute late. But that has proven to be very difficult, especially when there's travel involved, which could always entail unexpected surprises. Even just a coworker stopping me in the hall as I'm dashing down 1 minute before the start of the meeting will delay me. This strategy of maximizing time results in more late arrivals than I desire. And when something isn't working, I start to analyze it. And I realized being on time is a trade-off between keeping more time for myself and giving up more time for the other person. By squeezing every last minute, I may have more time for myself, but in the end, I feel rushed and take the risk of getting there late, making others wait. Planning extra time, on the other hand, may involve waiting because I arrive early. Waiting time is lost time where I could have done something more productive. So the dilemma I really have is this. Being on time is a trade-off between selfishness and selflessness. It's a decision about what matters more. What is more important? My time and my tasks, or the other person waiting for me? And this gets iffy if we go somewhere where we really don't want to be, especially those work meetings, those tedious appointments, or those dragging family events. It's easy to justify lateness with people and events that we don't enjoy. It's easy to excuse ourselves with something that was more important. But what about those people? How do they feel? They are also counting on us. Every time I have to be somewhere, I never plan on being late. I build enough time into my schedule to arrive early. Even at work, I make sure my meetings are nicely spaced apart, if possible, so there's never a rush. But as soon as the meeting time rolls around, something strange happens. I somehow pick up a task that needs to get done right before. A quick email I need to answer. Something that needs to be tidied up before I can leave the house. Or a quick stop I need to make before I go to the appointment. Something so important that it needs to get done right away, at the expense of making me late. And suddenly, the importance shifts from my meeting to something else that now has more priority. I began to realize that being on time is more than just showing up at a set time, rushing in, sitting down right at the exact time and done, checked off. Being on time is a commitment. And by making a commitment, I have a responsibility. Others are counting on me to be there. They also make time for the meeting, and showing up late is not fair to them. Being on time involves more than just the duration of the meeting. I invest planning time and driving time when I take a trip to the mountains. And the same applies to every meeting, even if it's right there in my office or over Zoom from my computer. It includes the walking and driving time, preparation time, and ending the tasks I'm working on and being ready for the meeting, which I'm usually not because I'm too worried and stressed about getting there on time. Being on time involves some sacrifice. It means showing respect to the other person and arriving when I said I would, putting my own needs on hold, leaving at the time I know I need to leave, and letting everything else wait until I return. Just like I do when I head to the airport, because the plane does not wait. Being on time requires more than just better planning. I'm a good planner. I know exactly when I need to leave to get to where I need to go on time. Being on time requires a mindset change. From prioritizing my own tasks to sticking with my commitment to the other person. And when I begin to do that, then I will also scrutinize my time better. I will spend a little bit more time thinking about what I'm willing to commit to. Now I often commit with the hope that in the back of my mind I can somehow slide by. Sure, just invite me to the meeting, I'll listen in. Those are exactly the meetings that I show up late to, because I didn't want to be there in the first place. But when I begin to commit more fully, maybe then the question changes from how can I fit this in without too much effort to is this the best use of my time? I realized that being on time needs to begin by standing up to the commitment I made to others, by taking ownership for my responsibilities, by following through, not halfway, not 95%, but all the way, 100%, showing that I'm present to the meeting at hand, even if others show up late. That is not an excuse for me to be late. It will be tough for someone like me, but not having time and being busy is no longer a valid excuse for showing up late. I am determined to improve and commit to the people that are waiting on me, no matter who they are. What about you? Much love.